You are listening to the Primetime Podcast with your hosts, Bryant Chisel and Jake Jorgensen. Hello, everybody. Welcome in to the show. We are rewinding week 13. Week 14 is on the horizon. I'm here with Jake again this week. Welcome in, Jake. Good to have you here. And our special guest of the week, big victory, brushing his shoulders off here. Laner, welcome in, dude.
Yo.
Always good to have you on the show, especially after an easy win like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the bottom of the league this year because you guys didn't bring me on as much. So
I think it might be the other way around, Lane. We didn't bring you on as much because you're at the bottom of the league.
I always win when you bring me on. That's all I'm saying
true.
is whenever you bring me on, I win.
You could be significantly lower. Jake makes a good point.
You could be lower.
Yeah, you could be Jake's worst points scorer in the entire league.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Let's crack it. Let's crack into it here. Laner, before we begin, congratulations on the new apartment. I'm impressed that you could be here today.
Yeah, thank you.
With all the moving around and shit. So big dub there. Alrighty, let's see. Let's just get into the matchups, huh, boys? What do we got for blowouts? Oh, well, this is this is a freebie every week for the rest of the season. Big old Tets. And you know what, Jake? I do want to say something here before we get too deep into this matchup. I feel somewhat vindicated about my take on Brandon's team last week. It did not outperform you. Obviously. You had a great week this week. Congratulations.
Yeah.
However,
thank you.
This team absolutely could have scored 80 points if Max Brosmer wasn't the worst quarterback to ever touch a football field.
No, this was the best waiver wire pickup of the year.
Yeah,
it was. Brandon wanted to not score points.
He never would have beaten Preston, but even if he would have played somebody on bye, he would have broken 70. It's crazy. Max Brosmer had -7 points, dude. He had -4 from sacks, and he had -8 from interceptions. Not to mention that nice -0.1 rushing yard. So, yeah.
Maybe the worst interception of the season.
Oh, my God. That pick six was diabolical. I hope that everybody listening to the show has seen it by now. But if you did not see it, he was getting wrapped up. And, elite quarterbacks, when they're kind of getting sacked, will find a way, the Josh Allens of the world with the incredible arm strength will find a way to huck it, 30 yards down the field, get it past the line of scrimmage, and go out of bounds and throw it away. Max Brosmer, he decided, actually, I think it's Brosmer. I've heard people say Brosmer. Jake, can you confirm this?
I can't confirm that. I thought it was Brosmer.
Okay, I'm going to keep saying Brosmer because it sounds better. He hasn't earned the right for me to look his name up.
Yeah, bro. He hasn't earned bro yet.
He underhand tossed that ball right to two defenders, really. And yeah, Seattle took that sucker to the house, and
it was the Will Levis moment of the year in my book.
Where he was just like, it truly was. It was not a good
meme of him
that
was literally defense. Like he had put his hands on his heads after that pick six against the Bears.
Yeah, it was disgusting. So if we replace Max Brosmer with, not even a competent quarterback, someone bad, right? Like put Justin Fields in there. Say he gets 10 points, right? He's beaten 80 points. And I did say last week that Brandon's team could absolutely break 80 points, which is what I said all he would need to beat your team, which is where I was wrong. But yeah, Dontavian Wicks was incredible. He had his legacy week. Tyler Algier poached a touchdown from Bijan as he does. Everybody else was pretty mediocre to bad, as you would expect. I didn't expect Sean Tucker to get 0 on 2 carries. That was interesting to see. Welcome back, Bucky Irving. So, I don't think we have to.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do too much math to realize that Preston would have lost this game if Brandon would have started a real lineup.
Oh yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
good point.
actually, I guess I didn't do the math of him probably subbing out Dontavian Wicks, but
Fair enough. So
either way,
he would have played Bijan, Achan, Tet, and Sutton probably. Yeah, that's. I mean, 55 points
And
in
then
the running
Pitts.
backs.
Like you said, Pitts.
Yeah, he would have started Kyle Pitts or somebody else, but probably Kyle Pitts. 15 points from Kyle Pitts. So that's 60, 70 points there minus, I don't know. Alan Lazard probably goes out, and Wilson is probably starting if Brandon's trying, and Juwan Jennings. Maybe Wilson is. I don't know. It'd be very close. I think you're right. I think Brandon could have won that game. Be interested to see. I'm not going to go through the math.
Yeah, not worth it. Just wanted to comment that for if Preston's listening to this part.
Oh yeah, he would have started Bo Nix, almost certainly. So 20 point. Well, call that almost a 30-point swing. That's crazy.
Definitely would have been more worth his time to put in just like a third string quarterback that isn't even going to play.
That is against the rules, Lane. Focus. I told Brandon the rule for tanking, and this is true every year, is that your players have to be playing and projected for points. So backups are unacceptable for the quarterback position, unless you're talking like, maybe Shadur's backup when Gabriel comes back. So someone like Taysom Hill, right, who's going to get, a couple plays here or there. So, yeah, that is the acceptable level of tank. And honestly, Brandon did it perfectly, because while he did pick play, and this is why it's the rule, right? Because Dontavian Wicks can happen, right? But good thing for him, his quarterback had -7. Dude, you couldn't have picked a better quarterback if you tried.
Yeah.
Wow. If you would have asked me to pick a quarterback to have the most negative point, well, it probably would have been a decent shout at Max Brosmer, just because of how bad McCarthy had been. But yeah,
I mean, he's putting up prime Jay Cutler numbers out there.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, he had like a -5 something at one point, I think.
Nathan Peterman.
Oh my God, dude, Nathan.
For that one half, he probably
Sam
did
Darnold
have
on the bench, -2. Minnesota's defense did actually look good in that game. They gave up 26 points, but 7 of that was the offense giving it up. And in all honesty, I think the rest were field goals, right? I think that was the only touchdown. I feel like it was. I don't know if this will give me any information on that. Oh no, Charbonnet did score a 17-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter, and so in quote-unquote garbage time. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it was field goal after field goal, dude. Vikings defense looked good. They were getting after Darnold. He was seeing ghosts. So, other than that, yeah, Preston's team was okay. Josh Jacobs was he had a lot of rushing yards, but it was an okay game for him. Davante Adams he's insane. As someone who has Kyren Williams in a different league, I'm upset at Davante Adams for being so dominant in the red zone. I think I saw a stat where, this is what it was. Okay, he has the most targets inside the 5 in the entire NFL since they started tracking targets.
Jeez.
So
that's an Aaron Rodgers stat.
And that's a season-long stat, and we have how many weeks yet? This is week 13 that just finished. We have 14, 15, like 4 or 5 weeks. It's insane. Just this year.
Yeah, I thought you were talking like just
not
in his
career. Not
but
career.
No,
nope.
If it's this year, that's not an Aaron Rodgers stat, but that is a Davante stat.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers did love hitting Davante on those two, but dude, Matt Stafford and the Rams are just doing it at an insane rate. Like if they get in the red zone, Davante Adams is getting a target. You can guarantee it. Dude's a freak. I didn't realize that the Puka Davante Adams stack, if you can call it that, would be so effective. Guess it helps when you have 2 wide receivers in the best offense in the league, and that offense isn't running the ball as much as they could be.
Yeah, I should have probably gotten a little bit more for Devontae when I traded him away. I had to convince Preston that would work, that stack.
To
Hate
be
see
fair,
that.
Devontae's been better than Puka in the second half of the year, I feel like.
Yeah,
Puka's been
Yeah.
Mr. Consistent, but dude, Devontae's been. I mean, he had one catch for 1 yard and a touchdown that 1 week. Dude had one catch and had 7 points.
I mean,
They've been
not bad
awesome,
still, at least.
No, yeah, I mean, for getting one catch, I mean, every wide receiver has bad games, right? But yeah, Devontae Adams has been a nightmare. He's the Jonathan Taylor of wide receivers, dude. He's just a touchdown machine. Speaking of Jonathan Taylor, he has him too. Yeah. Very nice. All right, we've talked about Manti and Brandon's matchup enough, I think, for probably a couple weeks. Next up, looks like it is Jake. Oh, I knew you'd be down here somewhere, Jake. You're always one of the first ones we talk about. Big up
Yeah.
to Lemons for the Go Big or Go Roam.
Yeah, I
He's
changed
back,
my
baby.
team name after the whole season because Roma Dunze, after trading for him, has pretty much done nothing. And this week, I decided that I didn't want to see all of my receivers playing on Thursday, apparently.
That
I
was a
actually really,
mistake.
honestly, Jamison Williams didn't really do much week 1 against the Packers, and I thought that,
Mhm.
I was mentioning in the podcast last week, that I expected the same thing to happen in this game. But then, of course, Amon-Ra gets
Amon-Ra,
hurt in the first
yeah.
quarter, and everything changes, and you get to see what Jamison looks like in
He looked
a
good.
game where he's the number one. Yeah, he looked great in a game where he's the number one receiver, and they weren't the Lions couldn't have just like they tried to run it a bit, but it wasn't like it wasn't a game that they were up and they could just run it the entire game. They had to pass a bit too, so he was still pretty involved. And other than that, like my lineup, I felt really good about it. Obviously, started Jacoby Brissett over Caleb. Seeing that it was a Philly defense now, they killed Philly's defense, not passing the ball. So it was a good play either way. And Brissett's just been a great quarterback to pick up off the waiver wire for the last couple of weeks now. But yeah, I mean, most of this lineup was great. Like one of my highest scores in a while. But tough week to play Lemons this week. And the sad part is,
it was.
I get this win, I'd be feeling all right about making the playoffs. Actually,
Yeah.
I'd be feeling all right
6 and
going into the
7.
next game. But
You'd have the same record as Greg.
officially eliminated, so you can press the soundboard off of that. But just pain.
Get into the button.
The biggest thing to remember is we're dead.
Pain for Jake.
I even threw I probably could have done a better job of looking at defenses the last couple of weeks because I feel like Green Bay and Philly have been. I have to take a look at it, but I feel like they've gotten like 4 points. Oh no, against Minnesota, Green Bay did really good. But I'm just saying, this week I thought they were going to do better against Detroit, like week 1, and it's not really a fantasy scoring defense, like super turnover forcing defense of late. Besides playing JJ McCarthy, so.
Jake, now that you're in tank mode, are you considering dropping Roma Dunze?
No.
He's the perfect player to be in your lineup when you're tanking.
Very true. I mean, I've got to think about my keeper situation anyway next year, and man. When I made that trade with CD, I did have Dunze kind of locked in as a keeper.
He was
spot,
a much more attractive keeper when you traded for him.
much more attractive.
Yeah, ever
keeper.
since then, dude, it's been bad.
I'm gonna need to feel really good over the next however many weeks are left.
I think part of the problem for Rome is that Chicago, ever since the bye week, has been running the ball at
that's all
a
they do.
historic rate. They're absolutely.
I bought
slaying.
in on the Bears' offense without thinking about how their offense is going to operate when they win games, and
That's fair.
they don't really. I forgot where I saw it, but it was someone made the quote that the Bears are winning in spite of Caleb Williams. That was crazy.
Yep, I did see that. I mean, Caleb Williams is ass, so.
Yeah, he's not that good of a quarterback.
He does have the lowest completion percentage in the league among starters, is what I think I saw, like 59%,
Yeah, I think he's hitting
something like that.
58, I want to say. 58, 59. He's sub 60, which is unacceptable in the NFL. You can't be
no,
that
you're
low.
right. He shows flashes.
I mean,
but
I don't even think
you're gonna
Jordan
need
Love
more
was
than
below
that.
60 last year when we led the league in drops by a wide margin.
Yeah, I don't think he was.
And the Bears pass catchers are not doing that. So interesting.
Yeah, outclassed by Lemon's team either way this week. I'm
Yeah.
glad that he ended up scoring enough points that it wasn't as simple as just looking at Jameson Williams throw him in there and would have got the win. So that part I kind of lucked out on.
It is close though, Jake.
But I mean, if you're a playoff team, especially when we look at the standings, like who's getting first round buys, stuff like that, Lemon's team's kind of waking up of recent and start to get a little scared about potential matchup.
Yeah, James Cook is
in 2
awesome.
weeks.
Rashee Rice is great. Dak Prescott has been awesome lately. He just needs Genty to get back into it. He's been living in PPR land over there. If Genty can get into the end zone every now and then, he'll be scary. Trey McBride, Judkins. I mean, it's not a bad team. He's got guys. Debo had a good game for going up against Denver. He's been pretty good this year. Lemons' bench is a bit sketchy. Joe Burrow's back, though. I don't know. Him and Dak is going to be a tough start-sit decision. Probably matchup based going forward. But Jake, I think in all honesty, if I'm able to depress you further here, you're right. It wasn't as simple as plugging JMO in for Rome, but also like you started the Green Bay defense against Detroit in Detroit, dude. If you would have played a not garbage defense, you probably would have won that game with JMO.
I agree with that
Green Bay's
part.
defense is bad.
I agree with that part for sure.
Playing any defense not named Houston in Detroit is asking for less than 5 points.
It's tough.
You're lucky if it's not negative, in all honesty.
Honestly, this whole I mismanaged defenses this whole season, but it was a situation where at the start of the year, I think Philly was like preseason ranked number 1 or 2 in fantasy defense. It was not that case at all this year, but
yeah.
I never wanted to drop them. And that's just what happens, apparently. Should have just dropped them earlier.
Honestly, between those two, I probably would have played Philly. It ended up not mattering. Just because I'm more confident that Chicago was a fraud than I was Detroit in terms of at least offense.
Yeah.
So if you would have asked me before Thanksgiving whether or not Philly's defense had a higher chance of shutting Chicago down, I would have said absolutely. Philly's defense has been able to shut good offenses down this year. So, I mean, shoot, they shut Detroit down a couple weeks ago, and I still would say Detroit's offense is better than Chicago's.
Yeah.
So, anywho, tough loss for you, Jake. You are dead.
Indeed.
Biggest thing
As
to
the
remember
says.
is we're dead.
Horrendous loss. And a huge win for Lemons. Puts him actually above me now in the playoff standings, I believe. Pain. All right, next up is me and Nick B. This was always kind of a scheduled loss, but I didn't think it would come the way it came. There's a pause in there somewhere. Brandon continues to drop Lamar bombs all over my team. I can't believe I traded for Lamar Jackson, and then he had -0.2, 5, and 3. Like, what is going on? He's hurt, right? He has to be. He's dealing with like that. It's like a toe or foot, ankle, I guess they're calling it on Yahoo. I thought it was more foot, but either way. Yeah. And the worst part, Jake, I have to start him this week again. We'll get into a little bit, but I don't think Herbert's going to play. And even if he does, I don't feel confident that he's going to be good. And
yeah,
Jaden Daniels sounds like he's not going to play. Plus, Herbert plays Philly. We just talked about
I think I'd have to do the same thing if I were you, and you're right.
I just have to keep playing him. I'm
I
not
would
going to
never
roster a
guess one.
4th quarterback. I'm not going to pull Jake Jorgensen. That was you, right?
I've done that. I want to see how many quarterbacks I've rostered. There's been a lot.
I feel like you
But,
had 4 this
no.
year, but I could be wrong. Somebody did, I'm pretty sure.
I in the Dynasty League I had like 7 at one point.
Maybe that's what I'm
playing a
thinking
stupid game. Yeah, trying to make
I
sure
think I have-
can start someone.
I definitely had like 5 or 6 at one point in Dynasty as
Shit,
well.
Dude. You guys are crazy. No wonder I can't find anybody in that league.
Yeah. So look, yeah, Lamar. That was surprising that he's been this bad as
Yeah.
of recent, and the Bengals are just back. But somehow that was less surprising than the news of the Mark Andrews today. If you guys saw,
Oh, my.
they re-signed him for
Yeah,
a 3-year
$40 million.
deal, like Yeah, 3-year deal, 39 million, I think something like that,
Yep.
40 million.
Yeah, 20
I
something.
thought he was going to retire after this year,
I
maybe
know.
one more year. I
Yeah.
had no idea.
I saw that go through. I was like, oh shit, Isaiah Likely's cooked
Yeah.
for Dynasty. I don't know. I mean, does it matter? Like, is Likely just gonna be the guy, and Mark Andrews is just gonna block? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Agent of the year.
I mean, it's good for
Just doesn't make
Lamar.
any sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Agent of the Year is right. AJ Brown is back. Squeaky wheel strikes again. Chris Olave, I started the right guys here. My team was pretty solid other than Lamar. The bench was pretty brutal. I had some tough matchups going on, some banged up guys. Ricky Pearsall has been very disappointing after coming back from injury, especially after the hot start he had to the year before he got hurt. So I'll have to think about what I'm going to do with him. I mean, hey, he's been increasing by about a point every week. So if I count the bye week, he's good for 6 against Tennessee. Huge. But yeah, Nick's team is nasty. Josh Allen was bad. Igbuka was bad. I don't know. It was just Seattle's defense, dude. Nick's team really didn't have that good of a week, but Seattle's defense just stuffed me in a horrendous way. Max Brosmer just he killed me. Brandon starting quarterback slayed me. Nick's bench was pretty solid. Monangai and Swift. I mean, both of them are low key startable. You don't expect this every week, obviously. They can both disappoint you. I'd probably rather start Monangai, but Swift probably offers a little bit more upside between the two. Horse apiece. I don't know if I'm excited to play either of them against Green Bay, but the way they're running the ball against a really good Philly defense, I mean, it's hard to say you can't start them. Nick's team is good. And I hear Amarian Hampton, his window was opened.
Yep,
So
he
it
should be
sounds
coming
like-
back soon.
Yeah, if not this upcoming week, then probably the next week. He should be back for fantasy
I think-
playoffs.
I think it should be this week, if I remember right.
That's what it sounded like from some of the
Because
reporting.
I mean, he was expected to come back last week and then had that setback, didn't he?
Apparently he is on track and looking good to play this week, but they don't know for sure, according to Harbaugh. So yeah.
Never trust a man who coached at Michigan.
Ain't that the truth, Laner? Amen. You know what? Let's get some big booms for Lane, even if you can't hear them.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Attaboy,
Does it
Laner.
make me feel pretty good?
I'm proud of you. Oh, man. And Quentin Johnston got a touchdown. Still only had 11 points. Pain. All right. We carry on. Every time I say carry on, Jake, do you know who I think of? Carry on
Johnson?
Yeah, what a guy, dude. I drafted him in the 3rd round in our Dynasty League back when we first started it. So tough.
I remember that. Yeah.
Caden George, next up. This was a huge win for Cade, even though his team was incredibly disappointing. He has to be very fired up to win this one. George, is this a huge loss for George? Is he happy about this? I think he is.
He's definitely happy about it.
His actions aren't showing that he's happy about it because he's starting his best players. Not that his bench is really, pretty much everybody in his team sucks. Drake London being out obviously helps George's tank. Drake May is the only question mark, but honestly, I probably would have started Stafford too. The matchups say you could probably go May, but Stafford's been so good this year, man. It's hard to go away from him. So, I mean, someone's got to be throwing those Devontae Adams touchdowns, right? Cade's team, Jalen Hurts was fine. JSN was really disappointing. Seattle just couldn't move the ball in Minnesota, and then all of a sudden they didn't care about moving the ball because they realized that Minnesota, it's probably positive for your team to not have the ball against Minnesota because they just back up, and then they throw it to you. So, Nico, Henry, the studs did studly things other than Saquon, who I don't even know if you can call a stud this year. I mean, I think he's, for running backs, I think he's like RB 20 something, maybe late teens. He has not had a good year. He's been healthy, but it's just not the same. Philly's offense isn't the same. So, I don't know. On the bench, Kimani Vidal had a good had a good week as the guy for potentially one last week. And that's about it. Blake Corum took over for Kyron a little bit. Kyron got banged up. So Corum actually looked good. I don't know if either of you watched that game, but Blake Corum looked really good. Every time I saw him on the field, I'm like, damn, Kyron's running awesome. And then it was Blake Corum, and I was kind of sad. So, anywho, Cade and George wrapped up. Big win for Cade. And both
So I wasn't watching this matchup closely or anything, but do you think George ever thought that he was going to potentially win and then looked over at Brandon's team and realized that he should probably not be trying to win right now? He started a much better lineup.
Oh, he
than,
a significantly better lineup than Brandon. I'm curious.
Look at the projections is 145
for it
to
don't matter,
109.
though.
So he probably didn't think he needed to do anything.
I mean, he's right. And in the end, he was correct. But yeah, Brandon is definitely tanking better than George. But if you're George, as long as you're losing, it doesn't matter because the points for are so great between the two. That
I
I
hope Brandon and George play each other this week.
They don't.
Oh man, do they? That would have been
They
insane.
Brandon plays against Lemons, so Lemons has a scheduled win, and I play George. Hopefully, that's a scheduled win. So, yeah, that's it's an interesting one, that's for sure. Alrighty, last matchup, the matchup of the week, the marquee matchup, Greg versus Lane, and this matchup here is one of the most disgusting matchups I've seen in fantasy football.
It was a steamer. What do you mean?
Yeah, the Cleveland Steamer, Lane. Focus. This is disgusting. Both teams sub 90, which is already a problem in itself. Lane, while moving on Sunday, I understand you forgot to check your lineup before kickoff and did not notice that Dalton Kincaid was ruled out. That's a bummer.
Yeah, that was tough, especially with Ertz going on the bench like that.
Yeah, he was actually the number 1 tight end this week. Did you know that?
No, I wasn't aware, but
Pain.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I felt good saying that. Oh man! And then Amon Ra, obviously on Thanksgiving, went out really early with that ankle injury. It was ankle,
first
right?
drive. It was his ankle.
Yeah,
It was first
ankle.
drive.
Yeah, so that's tough. Goose from him. So you had double goose, right? I mean, you see that from Amon Ra, and you're like, I'm cooked, right? Immediately, you're saying, all right, I lose.
Yep, that is exactly what happened.
And then if someone were to tell you that you had a second goose in your lineup lane and you didn't break 90 points, how would you feel about your odds if you didn't know how Greg did?
I figured I was just cooked from the get-go.
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't matter what happens.
You were double cooked until you weren't, because the Brock Communities Credit Union, sponsored by Brock Bowers himself, who actually had 22 points. Great game from Brock Bowers. 2 touchdowns. Yeah.
Probably the second highest tight end score of the week.
Yeah, he probably is, given how close he is to Zach Ertz. You got me there, Jake.
Did you know that?
I did not know that. Brock Bowers. Oh, that's funny. Brock Bowers, one of those touchdowns came in super garbage time. I mean, technically, the entire game was garbage time for the Raiders, but that second touchdown was like one of the last drives for the Raiders. It was diabolical. I was playing against Carolyn Laner in the Kaler League, and
Yep.
she had Brock Bowers, and I was up by like 10, and I was shitting myself after that touchdown. I'm like, oh god, especially because I had JSN, who I knew wasn't catching the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, tough outing for Greg. Baker did not bake any cookies this week. That's a few weeks in a row now that Baker's been very disappointing. And honestly, you would have hoped that against Arizona, it would have been much better. Now, I've been hearing that Mike Evans might be coming back. I've been hearing that Jalen McMillan might be coming back. So, with some weapons back, can Baker bounce back a little bit? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if Greg has much of a choice with Daniel Jones on his bench. I think I'd be playing Daniel Jones at this point. He wasn't that great this past week, but Houston shuts everybody down. Houston's defense is, seemingly impenetrable. So I think I'd be rolling with Danny Dimes and crossing your fingers, at least until the weapons are back for Baker and he has at least one game over 20 would be nice. But we'll see. Greg is currently in 6th place. This week will be interesting. This is a huge win for you, Lane. I think it. Does this technically keep you alive? I don't
I
know.
believe it did, yeah.
Isn't Greg mopping you in points for though? Yeah.
Yeah, he'd have to outscore
Yeah.
Greg
So
by
Greg's basically a
90.
lock. You would have to absolutely have a monstrous game. Which is possible, Lane. Yeah, I've been saying all year that your team is best in the league, right, Jake?
You have all year.
I don't really know what else to say about Greg's team other than this was like a masterclass of how to lose a fantasy football matchup. Disgusting. I'll have a little bit more to talk about during the roast for Greg that I don't really want to spoil right now, but it's a diabolical stat once once I unleash that later. Jordan Love on your team, Lane, had a fantastic week, obviously. Big 35 points. He was the number 1 quarterback of the week, Lane. Did you know that?
Hey, I mean, at least something went right on my team.
Yeah, he saved you the week. He saved your ass, dude, because it wasn't going well. And was it Kiami Fairbairn? Was it him that? No, who was it that fucked up that field goal?
Young Way.
Oh, Younghoe Koo. Yeah, dude, that was brutal. Wow, he like kicked the ground as he was going to take the field goal. Did you hear his excuse for that, Jake? Where he said like
I did.
he said the ball was moving or something like that, and
In
so he tried
super
to like, pull
slow
out.
motion, you can see that the holder did like kind of lean the ball a little bit forward, so he thought that it was going to be too far forward and just fall on the ground, and then he was not going to kick it, obviously, if it fell on the ground. But I think that just messed him up potentially. But that I did not see that in the live, like in super slow
I'm
motion. You just see the
personally
ball move
calling
slightly
bullshit there.
forward. Yeah, you
There's
guys
no
just
way the
trust that
guy's
it's gonna
locked,
be
right?
ready. Yeah.
You gotta have faith in your holder, man. I don't know. Alrighty. Well, that's the matchups, gents. Let's get into the league standings. This will be very interesting. You know, we've got Nick and Cade both on top. Nick holds tiebreaker. However, Cade, sorry to say it, Lane, has a much easier matchup this week going up against Lane. And Nick and Preston play each other this week. So if Nick loses and Cade wins, Cade's the 1 seed. And in all honesty, I thought Cade was pretty firmly 3rd place among these 3 teams as far as how good his team was a few weeks ago. But he's been cooking lately and has a real opportunity to seize the 1 seed. Now 1 and 2 go. So Preston would have to beat Nick to get the bye. There's no other way for him to do it. So Preston, if he wins, will get a bye for sure. So it's kind of nice to control your own destiny. That's the top
But it's
3.
also still big for. Oh wait, I can't remember. I always forget every single year. But in our playoffs, I guess since I haven't made it recently. Actually, I think I did make it last year. Anyway, I wasn't trying to just say that. I was gonna say if Nick, let's say, dropped to the 3 seed and then won his first round game, would the match? I forget. Does it reseed?
We currently do not reseed, although I do have it in my notes to vote on that this upcoming year because I think that could be an interesting.
Yeah, I always forget how we do it. But I was just gonna say that would make this even bigger, like for what seeds, because some people think, like, if Nick dropped to the 3 spot, that would be a pretty important to not want to play that 3 seed at some point.
You're right.
Yeah. But this is the scenario that I was excited about once I saw Preston and Nick B's team playing in this week. And it's nice that Cade is going to be able to just win and get that first round bye, or if he loses, he has to root for a different situation.
If
he loses and Preston wins,
is he the 2 seed no matter what?
No, if he loses,
Preston win.
No, because then if Nick B loses, he has the
Yeah, Nick will have points for on Cade if they both lose. So if Cade loses, he needs Preston to lose to maintain the bye.
Yep.
If Cade wins, he's at least the 2 seed.
Yep.
So both. I mean, all 3 of these guys, if they win, they get the bye. And then it's just which seed are you? Nick can stay the 1. Alrighty. Besides the top 3, we've got Lemons, myself, and Greg all duking it out for the bottom 3 spots. Mathematically, Lane and Jake, you guys are still in it, but in practice, you're both dead. Lane less so. Jake, you're certainly
Yeah.
dead because you have
I'm
to,
so good.
you would have to have like 400 fantasy points. Good thing you have JMO, right?
I'll start JMO this. I'll think about starting JMO this
You
week.
need the boom week from JMO.
Yeah.
Lane, you could outscore Greg by 100 or so points. It's definitely within the realm of possibilities, especially if Greg does what he did this past week. But yeah, unlikely. So
It's unlikely, but it could happen.
it could. Although Greg is playing Jake this week, and it seems like everybody plays pretty well against Jake.
Seems that way. With the amount of times I lost by 100 points this year.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, certainly not your fault.
Yep, definitely not.
So most of the drama is going to come from the teams in 4 through 6 here. Lemons and I can swap seeds here. Whoa, that feels like it should be. That's disgusting. And Greg could find his way up a little higher as well, but I don't know if the seeding. I mean, really, you just don't want to be in 6th place. That's
Yep.
not good. So I would really like to beat George this week and not be in 6th place. Lemons is basically guaranteed to win, so he should be safe. He should probably have the 4 seed locked up. So it's really just me versus Greg, and I would like to not. Jake, I'm counting on you this week, dude. I believe in you.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. And then at the bottom, if we skip over you two, we've got the big old Tets and Cooked. So George and Brandon duking it out for the first pick of the draft. George has a pretty good advantage over Brandon in that one. So I guess that'll do her for the standings. Oh, I see. Let's get into the transactions. That excited me.
Yeah.
Man. First we have to do best players of the week. Jordan Love, Lane, your quarterback, 34.76. Bijan on Brandon's bench, 33.3. AJ Brown on my team, 38.2. Shout out George. Lane on your bench, Zach Ertz, 22.3. Evan McPherson making a return, 24 points on the waiver wire. Shout out Preston for saying that he has the best kicking duo in the league that one year with McPherson and Justin Tucker. And last but not least, the Seattle defense scored more points than a lot of the players we just talked about. 31 on Nick's team. Very cool. All right, those are the best players of the week. Let's get into the transactions, and boy, am I excited to see that. All right, first off, we'll go to Fab offers. There were no Fab competitions. Fantastic. We've got Emmanuel Wilson was dropped by Cade. Greg picked up Kareem Hunt because he's back playing and is playing all right. Oh, wait. Pacheco's back, not Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's been healthy. I don't know. Kareem Hunt's fine. If you're starting him, you probably shouldn't make the playoffs. So, pain for Greg. I picked up Devin Neal for New Orleans. If Kamara misses time, he was all right. He's going to get work in Tampa Bay you can run on. So, we'll see. I hope I don't have to play him. Cade picked up the Cleveland defense as well for a couple dollars. And the one I was waiting for here, Brandon, of course he dropped Max Brosmer. I mean, dude had -7 points this week, so he's got to replace him with a stud like 9, J.J. McCarthy.
You want someone that can match those points.
Yeah, exactly. Dude had
That's your best
-5.5
bet.
against Green Bay. Good thing he doesn't play Seattle this week. I mean, realistically, J.J. McCarthy's schedule rest of the season is very quarterback friendly. So if there was a time for him to score positive fantasy points. That's the bar, by the way, is positive fantasy points. It would be now. I cannot believe Yahoo projects him for 14 points.
That's insane.
I put it at a firm 11.
I think the only way that JJ McCarthy can start to do a little better is if he changes his number next season and gets
He
rid of the
might
9
have to.
thing.
I agree. That thing is following him like a dark cloud, dude. He should have kept that to himself. I'm sure a lot of players have their own little pregame rituals and whatever they have to do mentally to prepare. You don't hear about too many of them. If you're hearing about stuff like that, it's Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. You know, it's something that just follows you. So I don't disagree. JJ McCarthy might have to change his number. Also, dude has more picks than touchdowns. He's pulling a Jameis without being fun. So, anywho, that'll do it for the transactions. We get into the matchup previews for the boys. I'm up against George this week, like we talked about a little bit already. Lamar is going to be in the lineup, assuming he plays, which he certainly will. A.J. Brown, Olave, I assume is going to be healthy. He was not practicing. Apparently his back injury flared up. Hopefully he plays. I would expect him to. He's been questionable basically all year long. And he has been awesome pretty much all year long. Shockingly good. So I was not expecting that when I drafted Chris Olave. When I painfully drafted Chris Olave, if I remember correctly, because he was falling in the draft, and I said, fine.
You're like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I know. Like, and then like 2 rounds passed. I'm like, all right, Jesus, fine, I'll do it. So Chase Brown with Joe Burrow back, I expect great things. Right now, I have Woody Marks in there, and while I do believe in Woody Marks, I don't know if I believe in him against Kansas City. So he's been kind of disappointing the past 2 weeks. He's been getting work. It's just the Houston offense hasn't been really moving the ball that well. He's not getting valuable touches, not much for targets or anything like that. And if you're not falling into the end zone, you're going to be kind of disappointing. So with Travion Henderson and Rico Dowdle on bye this week, that's why I picked up Devin Neal. There's a world where I chuck him in there if Kamara doesn't play. I've been thinking about it. I think if Kamara's out, I probably will do that. And then BTJ I have in there right now. Only other real option in the flex is Michael Pittman, and I don't know if I can trust him right now. He's been a little up and down with the Colts. Laner, as a fellow Jags fan, should I be starting Michael Pittman against them this week?
I don't know.
I think the Jags are going to win that game, in all honesty. I'm leaving.
I think so too.
I think I'm leaving Pitty on the bench. It's tough to believe in BTJ though. He was pretty stinky his first week back, but it was his first week back. Go Jags.
I mean, Jacoby's been doing good at least.
Jacoby's been really good. Yeah, I agree. And Parker Washington's been all right. I don't know if he's been good for fantasy anymore since they brought Jacoby in, but he's been a pretty good weapon for him. So, Georgia side of the ball, Drake London, they were talking, might be back this week. I'm not super confident that he'll actually play this week, but I believe he did. He did not practice. I heard whispers that he might be back, but my money is, I guess, going to be on no if he's not practicing on Wednesday. So, Aaron Jones is pretty banged up too. I'm not sure if he'll be good to go. I kind of figured he wouldn't be. They're saying he's day-to-day. So, both of those guys, Aaron Jones, if he plays, I'm not confident in. Not that George has much of a choice or cares. Drake London, if he plays, you're probably starting no matter what, especially with a roster like Georgia's where Khalil Shakir is your other option. So, yeah. I mean, Georgia's team is what it is, right? Not much you're really going to change about it. Especially if he's kind of trying to lose. It doesn't look like he's trying to lose, but the Detroit defense against Dallas, that'll be an interesting one tomorrow night. Oh, I almost forgot. I have myself to win.
I also had you to win.
Laner?
And Definitely going. Yeah, I'd go you. I mean, it's George right now. He's kind of just doing his thing.
Huge.
That was very nice of you to give George about a 10-second pause, trying to
Yeah,
think
I
about
know. I
whether
was
he's
starting
going
to
to win
get
that game.
concerned. I'd already written me down in my spreadsheet.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
All right, Nick and Preston, gentlemen. Lane can't hear this, but
Marquee matchup.
the marquee matchup is here. Nick, number 1 seed, going up against Preston, number 3 seed. This game has all of the fantasy implications, and it will impact all of our lives. Well, I should say my life, not you guys, because the biggest thing to remember is, Jake,
Biggest thing to remember is
we're dead.
It will impact my life, and that Preston will send me a million texts if he gets this win.
Yeah, that's
Looks
a
like
good point.
Nick's
He will
already got
certainly.
Hampton in the lineup.
Part of me hopes that Preston wins, but Cade also wins, and Preston's not the 1 seed. But yeah, he does. I see that too. Marion Hampton's in Nick's lineup. He doesn't have a ton of other options. If it's me though, I'm almost certainly playing Lad McConkey over Marion Hampton. I get it. You know, if he's good, he'll be the starter. First week back though, in a must-win game, Lad's been pretty good. Oh, I guess if you're worried about Justin Herbert, yeah, maybe it's not that easy. I'd say you could fire up Monungai, but I don't know if I'd be confident with the injuries and the Green Bay matchup. Swift has just absolute stinkers of games. Yeah. If Hampton plays, he has a lot of Chargers, and the Chargers might be very disappointing on Monday night if Herbert doesn't play. Even if he does play, he might not be able to really move the ball appropriately. What do you think, Jake? If Hampton plays, are you starting him?
So before I really looked at his lineup, I was going to say no because I remember that the lineup we just looked at last week, his bench was super deep, and then I realized how many guys he has in bye this week.
Yeah.
I think I probably would over Lad,
Mm-hmm.
to be
Yeah.
honest.
I'm starting to get there
Going
too.
up against Preston, and you have to assume that he is only back because he's been ready for
Yeah.
a week maybe or something like that. You have to think he's good, and the Phillies defense just got killed by the Bears
They
in the
did.
run game. So I think that's and Harbaugh has proven that if the run game's working, won't even think about passing.
And
So
that
that's
might
probably
work for their
why.
benefit this week with Herbert being
Yeah.
injured.
Yep.
Preston's side of the ball is likely much more clear. Also, we didn't talk about this last week. Preston, I believe, benched Justin Jefferson last week. Looks like he's planning on doing it again this week. I respect the cojones there because I don't know if I'd be able to do that, and you have to do that. Dude has been brutal. So Breece Hall's been in the flex. He's the guy you'd question, right? But yeah, it's not been good for Jefferson. So Jake, it could be worse. You could have Justin Jefferson.
Tried to trade for Justin Jefferson.
Rowan
Now he's
for
benching him. I
Jefferson
don't know what's
straight
going on.
Yeah, Preston's team should be pretty straightforward here. Still rocking Dallas Goedert at tight end, which I don't love personally, but you can't play Isaiah Likely with the new money from Mark Andrews. I mean, he's going to have a big week, right?
Yeah.
It's Mark Andrews. He is definitely not having a week.
Yeah. Although I will say, if Preston does not get the bye, I would be playing Isaiah Likely week 15 against Cincinnati. Cincinnati is easily the worst tight end defense in the league. Everybody that goes up against them has good weeks. Exhibit A this past week, 12.5 points. Goddard can have pretty good weeks, but in general, he's stinky. So if it's me, if it's me, I'm probably looking. I don't know what's on the waiver wire for tight ends. Brenton Strange. I'd be dumping all my fab into Brenton Strange if I'm Preston. Which is
Harold Fannin Jr.
83 fab.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very excited about Harold Fannin, but he's there. I'm probably more excited about Dalton Schultz in all honesty, or Darren Waller, both those guys. But once you get into that tier, Goddard becomes a little more attractive. But Brenton Strange missed a good chunk of time this year, but Lane's guy, Brenton Strange, has been really good when playing.
Strange is good now that he's back too.
Exactly. Yeah, if I'm Preston, I'm dumping every single ounce of my fab into Brenton Strange. You probably don't
Not
have
if I have
to
anything to do with it.
And I do. How much
I
fab
really
you
do.
got?
How much fab do I have? I got like 100
You have
still,
more.
don't I?
You have more, Lane. You have
Hey,
89.
hey,
All right,
hey.
Lane, you have one job and one. There's no way Preston listens.
No,
to these,
no,
but-
no, 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 no. Refresh real quick.
What?
Scroll down to recent transactions.
Oh, Jake!
Let's go.
You bitch.
Let's go.
I forgot that waivers already ran. You can just pick them up. You don't have to dump
Yeah, you
any
got-
fab into them. That's huge for Jake.
I needed a tight end. I got to
He
be honest.
did.
I needed a tight end.
Yeah,
I
you
needed a
got a
tight
big
end.
matchup against
Since
Greg this
Kincaid
week.
has been out for
Let's take a
years.
look at my team.
I mean,
definitely needed a tight end.
I would probably play Brenton Strange over Juwan Johnson. And I like Juwan Johnson, but Brenton Strange has upside that Johnson doesn't have. Johnson's very solid. He'll
Dude.
get you 10 points. Brenton Strange can get you 20. Okay, maybe not. Brenton Strange can get you 15. I love it, Jake. That's good stuff. Well,
That's a throwback to when. Actually, there was one time when Greg took somebody right in front of me while I was talking about picking them up. I forgot who
on
it
the
was, but that was
show.
like last
Yeah,
year.
that was awesome.
That's a
It
little
was a
different. because I was
quarterback,
really
right? Wasn't it
talking
like
about
Derek Carr or something like that?
something like that? Like
Man.
Fields came to mind, but I'm pretty sure he was
Ooh,
a waiver
yeah.
wire guy. I don't think it was him.
You might be
I'm just
right. It
trying to
might have
think
been a
who it
running
was.
quarterback, like Marcus Smart. No, I don't think it was
Something
Mariota.
like that.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't
Either
even. Maybe
way.
it was a running back. Who knows? But I remember I was talking about somebody, and Greg just got him while I was talking about him.
That was awesome. Oh, that was elite. Oh boy. Okay, yeah. So Preston's team, I'd look for another tight end if I was Preston. He probably won't listen to this because it's Preston. But other than that, you're probably not touching anything here. Devontae Adams, Puka have been working. Mahomes, you know what? Mahomes plays Houston, and as good as Mahomes has been this year, I don't think you can play him against Houston. I stand by the fact that you can play Mahomes. You can play any quarterback you want.
Season on the line.
Unless his name is Josh Allen, I'm not playing the quarterback against Houston. I don't think there's any other quarterback in the league that I'd play against Houston other than Josh Allen. And Mahomes has been really good this year, so I get it. And you might not find better options on the waiver wire, so maybe he's not a bad start. I'd probably play Mahomes over Sam Darnold because Sam Darnold has been bad. I don't think
I'd start Mahomes still.
Yeah.
I think they
Trevor
already adjusted
Lawrence.
his projection.
I think you're right.
And this is season on the line, Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, I
just fire
think you're right.
Mahomes.
There's not really any options on the waiver wire that would excite you. Trevor Lawrence is probably your best bet. Maybe if you're feeling risque, you can take a shot on Tyrod since he has had a couple okay weeks. But
Let's see. Do I have any IR spots available?
yeah, so that's the matchup, man. This is the matchup of the week right here, marquee matchup. And assuming Omarion Hampton plays, he should be protected for at least 12, I would say, probably closer to 14 or 15. You put that on here, and that's like 128, maybe 130 to 139 on Manthai's side of the ball. Jake, who do you got?
I got Preston's team in this one, mostly because of the buys on Nick's team right now.
I get it. Yeah.
I'd probably agree.
It sucks that he has to play Igbokwe this week. And I think he's been playing Igbokwe, but Igbokwe has not been good. Especially if a lot of those Tampa Bay weapons come back. Could be a little scary.
I also have a feeling he's going to sub Jefferson in at the last moment on Sunday
For who, though?
for Brees Hall.
I'd get it. because it's a better match.
You got to see how Pickens does on Thursday. I'm trying to see. You got to see how Ferguson does. Yeah, got a couple guys on Thursday. You kind of make
does.
that game time decision.
Yeah, I'm probably staying with Breece Hall if it's me. He's been pretty good. I wouldn't blame the guy though. I mean, it's Justin Jefferson. I'll never be upset with Jefferson in a lineup. Yeah, I guess I'm taking. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna go with Nick. Yep. Jake, you're going.
Nah,
Preston.
you can lock me in for my fab this week on Preston.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
Fucking nice, Laner. That's what I like to hear, baby. Jake, I'm doing the same for you.
yep. I need Fab. Bad.
Oh, bad. Big matchup here for you, Lane. Amon-Ra, who I honestly don't think is going to play this week.
It sounds like he's definitely not going to.
Yeah. And then Diggs and Wandale both on bye. Dude, you're in wide receiver hell. Devonta Smith probably gets in there. Ew.
It would be absolute cinema if fucking Henry puts up a solid like 30 on me this week after trading him.
Yeah. So, if I'm you, Lane, and I'm not obviously, but if I am you, Marv is in. If London doesn't play, Jake, are you interested in Darnell Mooney? I don't know if I'd be able to do it over Devonta Smith.
I don't think I can do Mooney.
I think
No.
Devonta Smith is probably in. Tough matchup, though. Rashid Shaheed is benched. I don't know why you have him on your team, in all honesty. Xavier Worthy plays Houston, so he's probably out. I think it's Marv and Devonta Smith, and
This is I can't remember. The situation was that you got to outscore Greg or someone by like 90, right?
Yeah, I got to outscore Greg by about 100
You got to
points.
throw Devontae Smith, Xavier Worthy. You got to just.
Yeah.
Greg has the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever and just take out his whole lineup. Accept your fate. Just take the penalty.
Take hell early.
Take the penalty.
That's what I like to hear. Laner, you might be scouring the waiver wire for a spot start this week. I agree with Jake, though. Xavier Worthy, since you need so many points, Xavier Worthy and Devonta Smith are probably in, despite the matchups. I think you're probably playing all three of those guys. Marv, Devonta Smith, Xavier Worthy are all slotting in. And then Jalen Warren, Ken Walker, Love. Yeah, nothing else probably changing. You might want a different defense. But other than that, you certainly want a different defense. Your best case scenario here, Lane, I don't think you're playing for the playoffs here. I think you're playing for the opportunity to knock Cade out of a first round bye.
That's big.
Honestly, JSN might put up too big of numbers to even.
JSN had like 4 points last week, Lane. You're in, baby.
Okay, but Sam Darnold did whatever the hell he did.
Yeah, he got.
Can't believe I even won a dynasty with that man in over Jordan Love.
Oh wow, respect.
NFC Player of the Week, and they didn't even give him a nice projection against the Bears.
That's true. I would absolutely, if I was Yahoo, Jordan Love would be. I'd say 22 would be my projection. I kind of get it though. He had been struggling before this, but I agree. Chicago, you can absolutely this is the projection I would expect to see against Denver. Yeah, I don't know if Cade's changed much. His team is pretty set. I hear T. Higgins might not play again this week. Still in protocol.
Really?
Yeah, I heard he's not progressing very well. Not that Cade probably cares. Honestly, I think we're to the point you can bench Saquon. I don't think Cade has anybody he wants to bench Saquon for. But just throwing it out there. If T. Higgins were active, I'd be considering playing him over Saquon. Personally. But I'll take Cade to win this game. Sorry, Laner.
No, that's understandable. I'd honestly pick him too, and I'm in this matchup.
Are you going to pick him?
I'm more than willing to pick him. I can already tell it's going to be a sad week for me.
Alrighty. I'm gonna put Cade down for you then, Lane.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't really have that much confidence in this one.
Respect. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough week. This is a great way to cap off your season right here.
It's a very good description of my season.
Jake, Cade,
Yeah, I'm gonna take Cade as well.
proud of you. All right, next up, Greg versus Jake.
I don't even need to see you read it. I'm picking Jake. Fuck off, Greg.
Let's go.
I love it. The slander. Wow. These are some badass teams, dude. And when I say badass teams, I don't mean badass. I mean bad ass. Disgusting.
Bad/ass.
Bad/ass. You got that right. I would swap your tight ends, Jake, if I were you. And I'm not talking about Mason Taylor. And
Juwan Johnson's been all right.
I agree, but Brent Strange is better. You can't change my mind.
That is true. I didn't look at my lineup since I added him. That's a good point.
Understandable.
I didn't see his projection was that high.
He's
Well,
good. I wouldn't love the defense. Oh, you know what? I like Green Bay against Chicago. I respect it. Fire them up, baby. if Aaron Jones
we need
doesn't
Clay
play,
back, and the linebackers
yeah.
are healthy.
yeah, we get a lot of guys back this week.
We're
I
gonna
think
need that because losing Devontae Wyatt
LVN
right
too.
after
I think.
what we just saw against the
Oh yeah,
Eagles,
yeah, brutal.
that really hurts.
If Aaron Jones doesn't play this week, and I don't think he will, you could potentially fire up Jordan Mason if you think that offense can move the ball further than 10 yards every drive.
I'll consider it. What sucked is even when Aaron Jones was out, Mason really.
I've been
was
tooting.
really
Let's
good.
go.
Tutin's probably staying in, man. He's
I've
the
been
goal line
starting him.
back.
I've
I've
been
been tooting.
I've been continuing to start him. Yeah. You know what? I'd stick with what you got, even if Jones is out, I think. I agree. Jordan Mason was not that good when Jones was out, and now he has a much worse offense. I know Washington's a pretty favorable matchup, but I honestly don't think it matters. That Minnesota-Washington game is going to be a dumpster fire because I don't think Jane Daniels is playing yet. So, yeah, disgusting.
No, he's still out.
Yeah. I heard Jaden Reed might be back. Is it this week, Jake, or next week?
I thought he was going to be back this week, but I think we're just going to wait until Saturday or
I
Sunday
think he
to say
has
that.
to be back next week. Otherwise, we have to put him on
Yeah, he
season
does.
IR. So,
Yeah,
we open.
I think he's going to be back this week.
I think so, too. If he's back, you're benching.
Do I start all of the Packers that I can?
Nah.
I mean, maybe.
Christian Watson stays in. He's a dog. I can't believe Greg is starting Waddle and Franklin again. I guess. Fire him up. They have better matchups. They were pretty solid before. I don't blame the guy. I know. So, Jake, are you taking yourself here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Greg's about to score the lowest points in league history.
I'm going to go with Greg this week. Sorry, Jake. Jacoby Brissett against the Rams ain't it, dude.
That's all right. Well, yeah.
Caleb Williams in Green Bay ain't it either, though. I don't blame you for going Jacoby. Jacoby's been good.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Last one, gents. And I'm going to take Lemons.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think I'm going to go Lemons too.
Wow.
JJ
Big sweep.
McFarty is out there. Like, it's bound.
He's
It's bound to
projected
be a
for
lot.
14, man. What is going on? I don't get it.
Yahoo's been smoking the copium. Their Minnesota
Yeah.
fans confirmed.
Must be. I agree. Yeah, this is another masterclass of a lineup from Brandon here. I can't believe John Fitzpatrick goose last week. I mean, dude's tight end 1. He had a target. Pain. If Brandon wins this matchup, it'll be a Hall of Fame level win from Brandon. Because his team is worse off this week than it was last week, that's for sure.
I don't know. Maybe Wicks will have another generational game.
Maybe. With all the weapons back for Green Bay, it's much less likely, in my opinion, but I'm here for it.
Bro, he's got to start Kyle Pitts.
He's not starting Kyle Pitts. He might win if he starts Kyle Pitts, Lane. He's so good. Look at how
Catching these balls like my name, Kyle Pitts.
Oh! What?
Come on. You know
Is
some
that
Dig Bar.
Is that a Dig Bar song? Is that a newer one?
Oh,
I haven't
yeah.
heard? Oh, I haven't heard that
No,
one.
that's 4 big guys.
Oh, it's that one? Oh, I'll have to go back and re-listen. Yeah,
Come on, I thought you were cultured like that.
my mistake, Lane. I apologize formally for my uncultured opinions. If Drake London is back,
appreciate
Brandon should start Kyle Pitts for the memes, in my opinion.
That actually might be worth it.
He should flex Kyle Pitts. Because actually, that would support Brandon's tank, I think, a little better than Michael Wilson would. But anywho, that'll do it for the matchups, gentlemen. We don't have to talk about this anymore. We have some roasts to attend to here.
Lane's favorite segment.
Is this Lane? Oh yeah, because he won't be able to hear the button.
Yeah, just the dead air.
Elite.
I'm still stuck online with Xfinity trying to get my Wi-Fi turned on. I got 2 gigabytes a second of Wi-Fi now,
Oh.
but I did have to create a phone line now and shit
Oh,
like that.
God.
So it was taking like an extra hour.
That's disgusting. Jesus. Okay, well, we're gonna get into the roast. Disgusting. I have 2 roasts this week. One for Greg and one for Jake. Jake, you deserve it less, so we'll start with you. Jake, at this rate, Rome is going to take all of next year, too.
Boom. Roasted.
The biggest thing to remember is we're dead.
It was an obligatory.
Oh, I thought it was
It's
going to
not
be me.
Jake,
I didn't
no.
see that you switched it back. Damn it.
Two-handed.
Shoot, I got
I mean,
baited on that
the
one.
button's
I think you
still
played
true.
it before, but it just says trash. So
Oh, yeah, when we were doing
forgot.
mic checks, I did play it. You're right.
I just assumed it was me when I saw the trash soundboard.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Jake, but you're not the trash button of the week. Yeah, that was an obligatory Jake Jorgensen roast. The real roast is going to be here. Greg, this is a novel, by the way. That I care about this probably a little too much. Let's get into the matchup here. This is going to be good. Greg, this might be the single worst loss of the year by any team. You went up against Lane needing a win for your playoff push. And you lost to a team that won't make the playoffs and had 2 players goose. Not to mention, every single player on your bench that is not a defense would have been a top scorer in your lineup in that position. Every single one. Daniel Jones, better than Baker. All 3 of your wide receivers, Higgins, Godwin, and Keenan Allen, outscored or greater your best wide receiver in your lineup. Your running back, RJ Harvey, better than any running back in your lineup. It was disgusting. You take away the defenses, you made every possible wrong decision you could make this week. If there was ever a loss that should make you feel shame, it's this one.
Hey, yo, I actually heard that one.
Roasted.
Wait,
really?
was that golf claps?
That was.
Wait, I'm hearing it now.
He heard the Discord default. That's a Discord sound.
Maybe that's a new thing. Is I have
No,
to
I
play
did hear the
Discord
boom
sound,
roasted
and then
after
he
that,
heard.
too.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Maybe that's
Wait,
what you
hold
have
up.
to do.
Am I
Play
gonna
the
hear the
Discord
boom
sound and then play.
Yeah.
So maybe we just have to play the Discord sound and then
There we
play
go. We figured it out. We figured out the soundboard.
Maybe.
Yeah, potentially. This not guaranteed to work. You're
Just in
miles away.
time. All I had to do was get eliminated from the playoffs.
We
and figured it
never.
out.
I don't think you ever
Boom. Roasted.
hit him with the boom roast.
Yeah, I'm hearing everything now.
Exquisite. Yeah, Greg, you deserved every bit of that roast. I was very excited to see that, by the way, Jake, that every single player on his bench outscored his best position player. That excited me. I was like, sweet. I was worried about Keenan Allen, but Greg's team did not disappoint. Tied Jalen Waddle. All right, that'll do it for the rewind, everybody. So good luck next week to everybody but George and Cade and Greg. You guys all stink. Laner, Jake, thanks for being here, gentlemen. It's been an honor. And we will get back to you next week.